Hi there, my name's Les Ross. I'm the Director of Golf of the online golf school, HighlanderSchoolofGolf.com, and the author of the golf ebook, Breaking the Distance Barrier. During this video I want to talk about swing timing, and specifically go into some of the mechanics behind swing timing that, hopefully will give you some ideas of how you might be able to improve timing of your own swing. The definition of swing timing essentially is the coordination of all the motion of the downswing from the top of the backswing to get you into the correct position at impact. Now, when you think about all the movements that are involved, at first glance it sounds pretty complex, but you can actually break down the downswing into two basic movements. And that's the rotation of your whole trunk and shoulders, coordinating that with the release of your hands. So if you can get your swing to where that's the only motion that's involved on the downswing, you'll improve swing timing. So as simple as that sounds, why is it then that golfers really struggle with this aspect of the swing? Well, the reason for that is quite simple. There's a lot more motion, what I call unnecessary motion, going on in the swing besides those two basic movements of the release of your shoulders, your trunk and shoulders with the release of your hands. And it all starts, all of that movement is created during the backswing. So let me show you examples of this unnecessary motion. The first that I see, which is very common with my students, is that they initiate the backswing with just a movement of the hands without any rotation of the shoulders. So the hands go back with very little rotation of the shoulders, and as a result there's a corresponding axial shift of the axis of rotation backwards, a lateral shift going backwards. Now that shift then has to be coordinated back into the correct position on the downswing. So there's one movement that's unnecessary. The second, which is probably the most common that I see, is as the backswing progresses, the golfer reaches a point where they start to break the left elbow. So again, that movement of the left elbow has to be coordinated back into the firm position before impact. As the swing progresses even further on the backswing, another common movement that I see, which is quite natural, is a lifting of the left foot. Now, when that occurs, or lifting the left heel, should I say, when that occurs, there's also a corresponding lateral movement of the hips, and if it's extensive, it can also result in a rotation a rolling across your right ankle. Again, all of that movement then has to be coordinated back on the downswing. The last common area that I see movement occurs with the trunk angle. So again, as the backswing is progressing, what tends to happen is the golfer changes that angle. So on the downswing, again, they have to get back into the correct angle of the trunk in order to avoid topping the ball. So those are four basic movements that occur in the backswing that contribute absolutely nothing to the power of the swing, but yet they make the swing more complex, in that all of that motion has to be timed now to get the golfer back into the correct position at impact. So instead of just talking about two basic movements, which is really the release of the trunk and the shoulders with the release of the hands, you've now got four additional movements that also have to be coordinated. So it's no wonder that golfers struggle with this aspect of the game. So how do you eliminate, or at least how do you reduce this unnecessary motion? Well, there's two areas that you can work on. First thing is initiate the backswing with a rotation of the shoulders rather than the movement of the hands. So by starting the swing with a rotational movement means that you keep your axis of rotation in a stable position. The second thing that you should focus on is limit your backswing to operate within the range of your natural golf flexibility. And typically that range is determined by a point on your backswing where your left elbow just begins to break. So in my case, I'm pretty inflexible. That position will probably occur right around there, which is not much, you know, so that's like a 3/4 swing. But if I can operate my swing within that range, then I avoid all of that unnecessary motion that I described earlier that typically occurs when you go beyond the range of your natural golf muscle flexibility. So anyway, I hope you took some points from that. Go out to the range, try out those techniques. So start the backswing, the rotation of your shoulders, and keep the range of your backswing to where you don't go beyond the point where you break that left elbow. And I guarantee you, you'll start to see improvement in your timing. So best of luck.